Welcome to the world of DayZ. This is a basic guide for DayZ noobs with enough information that will help you get an understanding of how to keep your character alive and get you away from the coast. If you do enjoy the video, give it a like and consider subscribing. First of all, DayZ is an open world survival sandbox where you can play however you like and there are no rules. No, seriously, there are no rules. Once you've found a server you want to join, you can play however you like. Team up with friends or random survivors, run solo or build a base. There is no right or wrong way to play DayZ. If you have a microphone, use it. Most players will become hostile if they think you don't have one. No mic, no life. Get used to hitting the respawn button because you will die a lot, and the sooner you get over losing your gear, the more fun you'll have while playing. Loot is supposed to be used and lost, and you will always find more. When you spawn in at the coast, your character will always be facing north. Keep this in mind as it will help you figure out what side of the map you're on. There are potential spawn points along the south and east coast, and the spawns are random, but you will learn them over time, so don't worry. Run to the nearest houses to start looting, but don't expect to find very much, as the chances that someone else has spawned here just moments before you is very high. But it's unlikely that they've looted every single building or killed every single zombie, and most players run straight to the high traffic areas, such as police stations, medicals, fire stations and supermarkets, ignoring all other buildings. If you've spawned in with no buildings in sight, run with either the ocean on your left or right until you find a town. There are road signs, train stations and tourist maps that will help you figure out where you are. Or alternatively, you could use an app called iSurvive, which is an interactive map for DayZ. On the bottom right hand corner, there will be a few icons for you to familiarise yourself with. Health, blood, temperature, food and water. These icons will change colour as they deplete. Think of them like this: white is full, yellow is half, red is low, flashing red is empty. So you know once your health is flashing red with an arrow pointing down, you don't have very long at all before you flop over and have to do it all again. Your body will also show you and make noises to indicate that something is wrong. Melee is going to be something you'll want to get good at. You'll be using it to fight the infected and other players. Pretty much anything can be used as a weapon. Ideally, you'll want something sharp, especially against another player. Giving them a bleed to worry about can be the difference between you living to tell the tale or respawning back at the coast. You can find knives by looting buildings or craft a knife with a single small stone that can be found on train tracks, trail paths and dirt roads. Or you can make a knife with a single bone, but you only get bones by gutting animals or players. If you do get into fisticuffs with someone, don't just spam whatever button it is for you to punch. That's just wasted stamina. You can perform these by holding shift and right mouse, then click left mouse whenever you want to punch. The buttons on Xbox are left trigger, Y and then right trigger, but I'm assuming someone in the comments will correct me if I'm wrong. I can only assume that it's the same for PlayStation, but instead of Y it would be triangle. You can block basic punches by bringing up your fists and walking backwards, but you can't block power hits. You will take damage from a power hit while blocking. You'll want to try and time your attacks to get the infected or other player into a stun lock. Power hits will deplete your stamina a fair bit, so you'll have to let it regen. It regens faster while standing still, but in a fight that isn't really going to be an option. The zombies are perfect for practicing your melee on, just be careful not to get overrun. Speaking of zombies, infected, whatever it is that you want to call them, they are everywhere and they have eyes in the back of their heads and know exactly where you are at all times, so playing sneaky around them is always a smart choice. You can stealth kill them with a knife, lock them inside of buildings so you just don't have to deal with them, or you can just beat them up. The zombies will react to noise, so keep that in mind while roaming around town. If you're sprinting, fire a gun or speaking loudly over VoIP, they will hear you. Food is everywhere. Those people that tell you they can't find any are probably only looking in houses in the spawn areas where several other players have just looted. You can loot fruit trees for apples, pears and plums, find food on zombies, go fishing, grow your own, listen out for domestic animals around the spawn areas such as chickens, pigs, goats and cows. Mushrooms also spawn around hay bales and throughout the wooded areas and offer great nutritional value to keep starvation at bay for a little longer. Water is also everywhere, but don't just stick your lips into the nearest stream to quench your thirst. This is a well, and these provide clean drinking water for you to drink from. If you find yourself thirsty and your only water source is a pond or stream, you will need either a cooking pot to boil the dirty water, or chlorine tablets to make the water safe for you to drink. So to cook your food or boil your water, you'll need to make a fire, and all you need is something sharp like a knife, screwdriver, hatchet or an axe. You'll want to get 2 pieces of bark from a tree, then cut down a bush and break down the long sticks into short sticks. Then combine the sticks with the bark and cycle through the options that pop up on the screen to craft a hand drill. It's usually the second option in. If you're near a town, find a building that has a stove and then add your bark and sticks into the fire. Put the hand drill in your hands, look at the fire and ignite. Now you can use the cooking slots to either dry or bake your food, or boil your water in the cooking pot. If you're not near any buildings, the fastest way to light your fire outside is to simply drop the bark on the ground, ignite the bark, and then add your sticks. To cook your food, you'll need to sharpen a long stick to bake it over the fire. If you need to boil your water, craft a cooking tripod with 1 long stick and 2 short sticks. Then attach the tripod and the pot over your fire. Let it boil and reach over 100 degrees and you're good to go. Medical buildings, especially in the spawn areas, are often already looted, but people forget to check the buildings around the medical areas as these also spawn medical loot. You'll want to keep an eye out for bandages and tetra, as you can heal a cut faster with a bandage, and you'll usually find them already disinfected, and you can cure most illnesses with tetra. Of course, if you find anything else like saline bags, blood bags, IV kits, codeine, morphine, epinephrine, you definitely want to pick all those up as well. You aren't going to know what everything is for, but honestly, most of the time just reading the description of the item will tell you everything you need to know about it and what it's for. Of course, if you want a more in-depth guide for each of the chapters, check out my DayZ guides playlist linked in the top right hand corner or in the description of the video. And if you want to see a really cool base I built in DayZ, then click here.